Yeah, I know this is going to sound weird, but here we go. Bad Toys 3D was one of the first FPS games to release on the Windows 3.11 platform, during a time when most games were still being developed under the DOS platform, and gaming on Windows was still in its infancy. Developed by Tibo Software from the Czech Republic in 1994, as a monochrome first-person shooter, before it went color years later in 1998. It was originally a one-level shareware, but the 1998 colored version raised it to 3 levels. However, it's the type of shareware that would need a registration key to unlock the full game. Like many shareware games, Bad Toys made it to some various shareware compilation discs at the time. And if you're one of those people who bought a key to unlock the full game, the original monochrome version contained 16 levels, while the 1998 version came with 25 levels, which is the one I'm playing for this video. Although, since it is a 16-bit application, I will be emulating Windows 3.11 using DOSBox for this video. The lore sure is something, though the story involves a toy-making company named Happy Toys, on the brink of going bankrupt. However, it was eventually bought out by DMS, otherwise known as Delta Military Systems, becoming Delta Toys in the process. But it was soon halted when a worker shot his own daughter. However, a plot twist was pulled, and the worker claimed it was the toys that shot his daughter, which turned out to be true, and the SWAT team was sent in to investigate, only to find out that all 25 men were reporting missing in action. So the Defense Council sent out their best, which turns out to be you to investigate. This was apparently stated in a poorly translated help screen. Bad Toys looks to resemble Wolfenstein 3D in terms of gameplay, and you have 4 weapons with a short roster of enemies to kill, starting with your fist and a pistol, but you would obtain a DD7 shotgun shortly after, and would later obtain the Elm 5000 plasma gun, which kinda behaves like a rocket launcher, because you can deal some splash damage if you shot at a wall. I will note that the controls are also similar to Wolfenstein 3D, as you lack dedicated strafe keys. You do have a few options: keyboard, mouse, and joystick. I tried to get joystick support out of curiosity, but DOSBox with Windows 3.11 doesn't seem to detect. Maybe it needs drivers. Well, after completing the game, I've since moved to using PCEM for my emulation need, and as it turns out, it does need drivers. By installing the IBM joystick drivers, I managed to try out the joystick support for this game, and it's serviceable, I guess. Though I decided to use my mouse for movement and aiming while using the shift key to strafe, and space to open doors. You could also open doors by right-clicking as well. Obviously, the first enemy in the game is the weakest one. These are the smileys that try to punch you. You later face the first hit scanner in the game, which is the fuzzy enemy that wields a pistol. And of course we have Toothy with a shotgun. Those are the enemies you face in the shareware, but as you unlock the full game, you'll encounter the large bees that shoot out projectiles from their tails, and also the most dangerous enemy in the game. This enemy springs around wielding a plasma gun that apparently shoots a faster projectile with splash damage, making it a bit difficult to dodge. In fact, both of them contain splash damage, so watch out for that. This game also seems to love monster closets, as the very moment you find a key or open a certain door, a toy monster or 2 pops out ready to kill, or maybe a swarm of them in some levels. Honestly, now that I think about it, it's like some hybrid of Wolfenstein 3D and Doom's game logic in such a way, although Tibo seems to be more inspired by Doom. The final boss is a large robot that is a bullet sponge to destroy, and also shoots a powerful projectile, and apparently there are 2 of them. I recommend killing the first one only and try running away from the second one, because there's not enough ammo to kill both of them. As a kid, I always thought this game was very difficult at the start, but when I revisited this game many years later, I made it to level 12 in a few hours of playtime. However, it is still a difficult game. and I had to make use of save scumming due to low health. It's also worth noting that like Wolfenstein 3D, the gameplay can get a bit repetitive, and it took me a few days to complete this game, and on the last moments of the game, I was kinda bored out. But then again, I was kinda pushing it because I endured 3 hours of gameplay just for this video. Just like Wolfenstein 3D, you do have a lives counter, but in Wolfenstein 3D, you eat chicken and dog food. But in Bad Toys 3D, you eat chips and hamburgers while drinking soda. But there is first aid kits that give you 20 health, so look for those. Unlike Wolfenstein 3D, Bad Toys did include an auto-map system, which for games like these is a blessing. One lacking feature of this game is the music, as there is only one song for the Attract demo, lasting around over 2 minutes or something. Although it does have some form of ambience, but most of the time it's silent. So you can pretty much say I had to bring out Spotify and blast Mechina to substitute this. I mean, it's very unfitting for a game like this, but it'll have to do. Also, if you came in thinking it was a child-friendly version of Wolfenstein 3D, then oh boy, let me tell you this one. A lot of careful editing had to be done, because the developers left out topless pinup posters all over a good chunk of levels. I'd rather not risk getting in trouble by YouTube. Bad Toys also has some weird functionality, like opening doors when you're not looking at the said door. In fact, I managed to skip a level, because due to the game's logic, it triggered the exit switch despite not being in front of it. I mean, hey, it could be a speedrunning technique if someone decided to speedrun this game. But on the plus side, at least finding a secret door is a bit easier. After the release of Bad Toys, Tibo Software would go on to release a game called Rolling Marbles, while also making jigsaw puzzle games. It is kind of unknown if Tibo Software is still around these days, as they haven't released a new game ever since. But where can you legally obtain a copy these days? Well, the interesting news is that the game is still being sold on their official website for $9.95. Although, I'm not sure if it still works because I haven't tested it myself, but it will be in the description down below. But do keep in mind that if you want to try this game out, but you're on modern hardware, then I recommend downloading OTVDM, which is based on Wine, a compatibility layer for Linux. You just drag the game's executable to the OTVDM application, and you should be set. OTVDM is also in the description down below. That about wraps up this video. What are your memories of this game? And what shareware CD did you discover this from? And as always, peace out.